4, 3, 2, 1. And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to ACG, where we're just a couple gamers. It's your boy Smooth, and we are back with another episode of War Elite. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everything is about to change about this game. And it kind of took me by surprise. I don't think I understood the concept at first when we got these two new changes. Because number one, it took me by surprise because we didn't get an announcement. We didn't know ahead of time. And so I think a lot of people were just as shocked as I am. As a matter of fact, we had a few people from War Elite that, to be honest with you, they were both shocked and also happy because number one, a lot of the older servers, they didn't really have much to look forward to in the likes of new gaming features. And then at the same token, some of these new events that we're getting every week are now overlapping with other events that are in the older servers. Server 4, Server 6, Server 7, and Server 8. They all... What's going on with this? Okay. They all have Duel in the North going on right now. And this new Versus event is overlapping with that. So that's both a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing because they have double the events to work on. But it's also a bad thing because now they have to decide whether or not they want to participate in Duel in the North, or do they want to participate in this new Versus event? Because we'll talk about that in just a second. Give me 1 second, okay? I gotta get this out into the community because I want to make sure that even though we're early today, it's still gonna be there for them. Some of them might be looking for this content at the usual time, which is 1 UTC, but I have family in town, so I'm doing this early. All right, so you guys won't have Smash on here today, but that's okay because we have tons of content to bring you throughout the rest of the month of November that you guys can be excited for. And again, I do apologize that we're doing this a little bit earlier than usual. I know some of you guys are used to it being at the same exact time every single day, and I know that things have been crazy for me here over the last week, but things will get back to normal as scheduled. Alright guys, it is in the community right now, so I'll go ahead and open up the live chat and we'll talk about it, alright, here it is, guys. So as you guys can see, we have the new Duel in the North, which by the way is about to reset in 25 minutes, guys. Alright, you have your 6 daily tasks. Well, I'm sorry, well, it's actually, yeah, it's 6 daily events of this. All of them changing. First one, Detective, then Build City, Research, Train Heroes, Fully Prepare, and then, of course, Defeat the Enemy. Now, why is this important to note? It's important to note because for a long time, there was no incentive, really, to be attacking other players, whether be it your server or another server. However, with this new event, at the end of each week's cycle of events, you are prompted to attack another alliance, either in your server or another server. And there are great rewards, don't get me wrong. But what you have to ask yourself is, are these servers populated enough to be giving incentives to attack an already dwindling set of servers? Now, for me, the answer is no. But I'm not in one of the new servers. Now, if they had the Versus event, this is just my opinion. If they had the Versus event in all the servers, that's fine, which they do. But if they kept the Defeat Your Enemies portion either out or optimized it for the older servers. And what I mean by this is if they optimize it for the older servers, where instead of incentivizing alliances to attack alliances within their own server, and they changed it so that way you could make it so that the older servers 4, 6, 7, and 8 could only be allowed to attack other servers, then that would be great, right? Because now you have these older servers that have a very low population. They're not being incentivized to murk each other. Now you're giving them a reason to compete with other servers. This would be great. And even if it was only allowing them to compete with 4, 6, 7, and 8 against each other, That would be much better. Again, this is just my opinion. I would like to hear your guys' opinions. If you guys are watching this after I broadcast it and you guys want to leave me comments, that would be great. I would love to know your guys' opinion on this because, again, a lot of the people, that are watching my content for War Elite, they are from older servers. You got guys like Wraith, you got guys like Smash, you got Ashy Bash, you got Machiavelli, you got Salty Dog, you got Hamster, you got tons of Penguin, you got tons of guys from these older servers. And this is an issue. You know, some of them might not agree with me. Some of them might agree that this is a good thing, right? Because, again, it is something good. It is something new. It's something good to do and stuff. They've been waiting for something like this. However, to incentivize old servers to kill their own servers when they're already the population as it is, I think it just needs to be optimized. They could keep this event. Just change it a little bit. Now, as you can see here, guys, when you click Alliance Raid and you click here, it does say after the raid event starts, bosses can teleport to a server where the Alliance is located and attack. After teleporting, you can return to your own Alliance's server. So it has been verified that eventually you will be up against other servers. So let's talk about that for a second. Are they going to make it, like I said, where older servers can only attack older servers, and then servers 9 and so on can only attack those newer servers? Because I gotta be honest with you, if you've got guys coming from server 4, 6, 7, and 8 and porting into server 9, my dudes, number one, that's not gonna be very good for them. And also, it doesn't look good on the older servers, because now instead of these newer server players looking to the older server players for advice, these older servers are porting in like the Hulk, like Smash, and just smashing on them, dude. Like this might not be good. This might not be good. I don't know. There's a lot up in the air here, but I think the bigger concern for a lot of players right now is the fact that this Versus event, the Alliance Showdown event, is overlapping with the Duel in the North. This could be a huge problem. Number one, because these servers, the older servers, they count on this event every time it comes around. This is an event that they are very, very heavily reliant on. As far as the rewards go, it takes a lot of planning, a lot of prepping. It takes a lot that goes into these Duel in the North. And this is the first time I've been around for all the phases, and you know, I want to show my support. My main server is always going to be server 6. That is always going to be where my heart is, right? It's where I met Smash. It's where I met Vadim and Ash and all of them. But I would like to be able to do both, right? But it makes it very hard when these events are overlapping like this. You know, did they think about it when they did it? I don't know. But also, you know, if these certain events are overlapping, let's just say it's not even Duel in the North. Let's say it's another event that they add, and it also overlaps. It's like too much stimulation. I can't decide, especially when I'm trying to play 2 servers. Now, I'm never going to play more than 2 servers of War Elite. That is absolutely out of the question. But let's just say for some of the players that do, I mean, even if they had the time on their hands to play all of these different servers at the same time, you're talking about these events overlapping like this. It makes it a real impossibility, right? But let's talk for a second about how they're overlapping. Well, let's say today, right, is Kill Event, which is the last day of the Versus event, where you're supposed to be attacking other alliances. But you got Duel in the North coming up, where you're going to need those troops. You're going to need all of them. You're going to need absolutely everything you can muster to have a successful successful Duel in the North. You need everything. You know, are they also going to refund, like, for this new Kill Event? Are they going to refund the troops the way that they did for Sea Battle with an 85% return? I feel like it absolutely needs to happen. If it doesn't happen, well, then what happens then? Well, then players are going to be forced to pick which events they're going to be active in. And this could also lead to chaos, because what if half of your alliance is deciding to do kill event instead of Duel in the North because it's new? See the air quotes? It's new. This is a new event. So yes, of course it's exciting for some players that have been waiting for something like this. But guys, again, you need your troops. Do we really want to force players to have to decide if they want to do Duel in the North or if they want to do a kill event on Versus? I don't think so. You know, can these events be optimized so that way they're not overlapping, they're not making veteran players that are seriously needed in Duel in the North, they're not making them choose? I don't know. We're yet to find out, but I do feel like this has been a disservice in a sense to some of the older players. Like I said, I'm gonna need the opinions of the older players because I'm not there yet. I'm in an older server, but I'm technically not a veteran player. I'm not an older player. I'm still kind of a newer player. This is, like I said, this is my first time I've been through all the phases of Duel in the North. Now, let's talk about another thing that is going to essentially change the game. Okay, if we're talking about server wars, which this is what this is, do we see another server merger on the horizon? Because for a long time they didn't have anything like this in the game, and so it kind of left me with a dry taste in my mouth, because I'm like, well, in every game I've ever played, there's always been a weekly or every 2 weeks there's always been a phase of server versus server, but we didn't have one in War Elite. The only server versus server we had was Duel in the North, and I could understand why they were doing it, because they didn't have anything else like this. But now that we do have this, this tells me two things are going to happen. And again, don't hold me to this. This is just something that I can only speculate and I can only make a wild guess. But in my mind, a couple things are going to happen now that they have this, right? Because I'll tell you why this is my thoughts. If you look at Alliance Raid, it says that on a kill event you will have to you'll be prompted to teleport into another server. Okay? Well, I'm in one of the newest servers. I'm in server 9. And in server 9, we have the Versus event. So who are we going to be porting into? Because we have a lack of servers, ladies and gentlemen. So that tells me at least 2 more servers are about to open. And if that happens, more servers will be opening. And if that happens, ladies and gentlemen, we will have the inevitable server merger. I know, this sounds absolutely crazy, right? But then again, how many times have I been wrong? I ask you, beautiful War Elite family, do not judge me by my rights. No. Judge me by my wrongs, because I have been wrong so few times. Okay? When I make a wild guess, it's normally based off of the fact that I've played these types of games most of my adult life. Even, I can't say my teenage years because I'm old, okay? We didn't have these types of cell phone devices and stuff that had these kinds of games going way back when I was a teenager. However, the moment I found these types of games, this is pretty much all my focus was on. I really love these types of games, and they're all the same. Okay? They're all the same. They have the same sets of events. They have, and this right here, this Versus the Alliance. By the way, guys, we are actually in the kill event stage. As you can see here, we are on day 6 now. So this tells me, guys, that since we have a lack of servers to port into, they wouldn't put this game in. These types of developers like to leave clues, but you have to find them yourself. Well, I found it. Okay? There's no possibility for the older servers to be porting into these new servers that are just babies and massacring them. That would kill their game. So what are they going to do? They're going to pair the 2 newest servers up against each other, and we're due for at least 2 more, if not a lot more. So you can be expecting a few things. If I'm right, you can be expecting a few things. Number 1, we're going to get a couple more servers. Number two, once we get a couple more servers and we get a few rounds of this event, I'm not sure, maybe a month or two, they're going to be looking for a server merger. They have to sustain the population of players, because if it gets to the point where there's only 2 active players every day in the older servers, it doesn't make sense to keep them open. It just doesn't. Like, for what reason, right? They're gonna have to merge the population, and I'm expecting way more than 2 new servers, because how I see it is they won't merge all 4. They will merge. This is just a guess. All right, they're gonna merge 4 and 6. Then they're gonna merge 7 and 8. Then we're going to see servers like 11 and 12. So now you got 9, 10, 11, and 12. They're going to pair off against each other until those server populations dwindle, and then they will start to merge them. But by the time that happens, we will already have seen another 8 servers open. Now, I'm not saying this is going to happen in a very fast rate. It's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this is something I foresee happening in the months to year to come. Okay? Now, that's the first thing. The second thing is, guys, is you're going to see some serious optimizations going on inside the game, because with all these new servers opening and all these new players brings what? More revenue. The more revenue they have, the more player population they have. Now you're going to start to see fixes on certain things in the game that we weren't seeing before. You're going to start to see new events. You're going to start to see a lot of the stuff that you weren't seeing before. This is both a very good thing and a very traumatizing thing to happen to these games. Number one, and it's nothing against the older players, but these older players are very stuck in their ways. I have had some good friends leave this game because some of the older players, what's a nice way to say it? They can't play nice, right? They're stuck in the way things were. They don't want to see too many crazy changes. And I've asked certain players before, I won't bring up names, but I said, what do you guys think would happen if this server and this server merged? And oh no, it would just mess up everything. Everything would be bad. I would leave the game and this and that. But in my mind, you have to either innovate or get the hell out of the way. And I'm not saying that personally to you. I'm saying that that's what happens in these kinds of games. You either get with the program or you get gone. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a majority thing. I'm a majority guy. You can ask Lethal. Every single thought in my head, every single everything in my life is majority. I don't ever think about the tiny percentage of people. I don't. Because what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If you ever heard that phrase, most changes and most things happen to the majority, whether it be good or bad. Okay? And with games like these, they're not thinking about the 5 players, right? They're thinking about the 9,995 of them. Okay? If you guys want to see huge changes in this game, you're going to have to get with the program. If they decide to merge servers so that way they can keep the game alive and keep the servers alive, I don't know what to tell you guys. Because I'm also in server 6. So I think in my head, what happens if they do merger 4 and 6? Am I going to get pissed off and leave? No. I'm going to go smash, protect me. That's all I can do, right? That's all I can do. And you have to really hope and pray that if and when this happens, there's not going to be a full-scale civil war. Not that we have many players to war with. We have a good, decent core group. I don't know really what's going on with server 4. I seen them put up some serious points. Shout out to server 4, by the way. But I just feel like if they're going to do this, it's for the greater good of the game. But let's get back to the whole overlapping of events, okay? If they keep overlapping these events, again, these older servers are not populated enough to where, let's just say each server had 20 players, okay? And that's probably being generous. 20 active players that show up for Duel in the North. Okay, let's say each server has 20 players. But at the same time, the Versus event right here tells them on day 6 to defeat server, 8 and server 7, right? So now server 4 is going after server 7, and server 6 is going after server 8. Now, these older players, they've been waiting for something like this for a long time. But even though they're big, right, they're also going up against another older server. So now they're wasting troops. And let's say, for example, we don't get the 85% refund on our troops and our health and our gold. But let's just say again though, 3/4 of each server's players have now wasted most of their troops on this event because they were excited. They never had anything like this. But the Super Bowl of War Elite, which let's not pretend like it's not, Duel in the North is the Super Bowl for the War Elite. It really is. So if most of their servers have now 1/4 of the active players that they would have had for Duel in the North, what can they do? What can they do? Because the Duel in the North is no joke. I know. I've been training for this with Smash every day. I should be doing a Duel in the North Phase 2 video right now. But I got family coming over, so I can't do that today. I'll try and do that tomorrow. But I should be there because I know how important it is to these guys. They waited all year for this. Okay? So you can't have leadership of these alliances planning, coordinating, putting this together with players that are in 4 different time zones, and trying to get these guys on for this event, and now they don't have the guys. Or if the guys are showing up, they don't have the troops. I'm sorry, man. All my troops are in the hospital. What do you want me to do? You can't, this is a problem. So, how much this is going to change the game, I think it's going to change the game a lot. I think if they don't optimize these events so that they're not overlapping all the time, that's going to be a problem. And for some people, server mergers is going to be a huge problem. For others, the huge problem is going to be the newer servers opening, right? Because I don't know, man. This right here tells me the fact that they put this in. The one thing I could tell you about the developers of War Elite, they don't do anything on a whim. And Smash actually told me this the other day. He was like, man, he was like, because I won't go into specifics of the conversation, but what I will say is this. I was upset at the fact that we got the Versus event before they fixed the Sea Battle. And I told him, I said, man, Sea Battle didn't come out that long ago, right? And if what Smash is saying is true, and Smash is saying they had to have been working on this event for a long time, which means, and sorry, before I got sidetracked, the developers don't do anything or make any decisions about their game without going through tons and tons of proper channels. I mean, if I ask for in-game assets so that way I can make cool posters and stuff, I gotta ask this person, that person's gotta ask the supervisor's gotta go to the manager's gotta go to the team leader's gotta go, and it goes all the way up and then all the way back down the chain for everything. So the fact that they put this event in the game, which includes server wars, that means they had a whole plan behind that, where they were like, all right, well, first we're going to open up these servers, and then once these servers at this time and the population reaches this, then we'll add that. All of this was pre-planned. Now, I'm not privy to any inside information in regards to this, but again, guys, I'm taking an educated guess based on what I've seen from every game that's similar, including other games I play right now. Okay? So as your War Elite specialist here, I'm just trying to prepare you guys mentally for the changes that I think are coming. Again, though, if you guys are watching this, after it airs, and you guys would love to leave me your thoughts in the comment section, I would really love to know what you guys think about this. Am I wrong? If I am, how am I wrong? You guys want to tell me I'm stupid to my face? You guys can do that. I just want to hear your guys' opinions on the matter. And also, more importantly, I'd love to know what you guys think is coming. Because winter is coming, my friends. And if you're not prepared for it, you're going to be really bummed out. I'm telling you. Prepare yourself mentally for what's coming. Because it doesn't make sense that these new servers, which, by the way, here, guys, I'll go ahead and show you what I mean. Alright. So if I'm going to create a new character, okay, we've got server 4, 5, 6, and 7, all right? Then you got 8 and 9, okay? how can 8 and 9 port to other servers if they're the newest servers with the newest populations? They're not, server 8 and 9 are not going to server 7, server 6, server 5, or server 4. So that means 8 and 9 can only war with each other right now on server versus server. But I foresee server 10 and 11 opening, 12, 13, so that way they can continue to push this new event. Because listen, like it or not, believe me or not, guys, they're not going to leave it so that server 8 and 9 can only compete with each other. It's not going to happen. And also, I think these servers are going to be coming out much faster. How much faster, I don't know. But I think they're going to be coming out much, much faster. Maybe, I want to say 2-3 months apart at the most, guys. And probably a lot sooner than that. I would say probably a month and a half is probably pushing it in between the new servers opening. This can be a great thing because we're going to be getting a lot more players in the game. I would like to know, what are your opinions? Why would it be a bad thing? And then also, how do you guys foresee the server mergers happening? Do you guys think that the older servers will be able to port into the new servers? If so, how soon from now? What type of effects is this going to have on those newer servers? And then also, guys, do you think we're going to get that 85% refund the same way we did for Sea Battle? I want to know all your guys' opinion below. And also, guys, if you guys could give me any clues at all as to what types of content you guys would like to see. I will tell you right now, guys, we have a lot of Duel in the North content coming up, coming straight out of server 6. So shout out to server 4, 5, 6, and 7, because, guys, it's going to be us fighting tooth and nail, right, in the North. And I just want to say shout out to those guys. I understand how much time it does take to prepare you guys. So shout out to everybody who put up huge points in phase 1. I would like to take this time to say thank you so much to the developers at iFun for sponsoring this content. We really appreciate you and all the support that you've shown the channel on this content. And thank you so much for just showing so much love to us. And thank you so much to the community of War Elite. You guys are absolutely amazing. I hope everybody has an amazing Saturday and a great Sunday, and I will be seeing you guys tomorrow at 1 UTC. Until next time, everybody, peace.